We're looking at quite an early camera made in 1881 by the Blair Company of Boston and Northborough. Looks like a wooden box, and it was actually called a detective camera, so you could carry it around and unobtrusively take pictures of people. And but it was owned by Hattie Goodnow, and she used it to take many wonderful pictures on glass plate negatives of life in Sudbury and many other aspects of her travels. And we had three early camera experts, photography experts, here looking at it and enjoy their commentary.
And this is where the lens is, right?
Lens is inside.
Inside. And so
This
you
is
open
speeds,
this,
right?
okay, and that's what is it, three,
No, you've got a spring here, and it goes from one side to the other. You
Yeah.
get the tension, and then you have three different sets of tension. And one side would be like bulb or whatever, and
Right.
the other, whatever.
To go the speed of the
shutter coming
Right.
down, okay?
Yes.
And
on
the
anything.
other things on here, like inside, when you open the side panel, I
this
believe
is-
there's a distance thing on
That
the,
opens right there.
Yeah, there's a framing.
and I think, isn't there something about
Well,
distance?
so your plate went in here, you see, like that.
Let me
This
see.
is where your plate went. to take
Okay,
the picture.
plate goes in
So
there,
all the way there,
Yeah.
and then you close it on it.
and is there, maybe I
No.
didn't see things
What
right.
this is a focusing device. I mean, they're part of your focusing. You know, they're moving this whole, probably this whole carriage.
Well, this carriage moves
What's,
from
is
here,
there
doesn't
something
it?
down there?
Isn't that
No,
the-
well, I didn't,
Yeah, I think
I couldn't
that will
see
move
what
it
that
forward
was,
and backward.
so I think it is just
How,
a
how
plate.
would
where's
she
the
move
focusing
that
screen?
forward and backward?
You don't have a focusing
You
screen.
don't on this,
No, not for these.
okay.
Now, the
Well, you
other
have a
thing.
ground glass. That's a
Yeah,
ground
there
glass.
is
okay, so
ground
there's a
glass
ground
there.
glass, okay,
And
that's
so
the
this would be
focusing
the
screen.
open this and
So you
then
can
look
open
through.
this and you
Yeah,
can look through
sure.
it.
Yeah.
But normally, what holds the glass plate in
Well,
place?
this right here,
That's going to be tight enough to,
oh yeah.
Feel
it's
it.
fine.
Take your
Yeah,
finger
go ahead.
and open that up. Push, hold it and push.
okay, oh, it has a spring in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what these big brass things are.
So it isn't necessary
But there
to
would have been a
have
plate holder, wouldn't there?
Right,
Yeah.
a plate holder would have
Yes.
held the plate and fit in here.
Yes.
Okay, but this
Because
is
you
not,
wouldn't-
That's not a plate holder.
That's not a plate
that's
holder.
not,
no,
when I
that's
first
not.
saw it, I
That's
thought,
where the
well,
plate
maybe
holder
it's
goes
something
in.
that goes in there. And
No, plate holders are still possible, I mean, you've got some.
Sure.
You've got some that would fit this. They just slide in, they would have a glass plate, usually two, right? It was a double holder.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it
not.
varies. yeah.
But,
They all had a dark slide, so you could, yeah.
Right, and they would have a dark light, so you could load the plates in your darkroom, into the plate holder, store them in here to carry them out into the field or wherever you're going, and then take them out, put one in here after you've focused. After you've done all your focusing,
But let's
then
go
you
here
put
one
the
more
picture
time,
in.
though.
Okay,
you,
let's
when
assume
you-
for a minute.
You push this thing open to put in the plate.
No,
Okay.
but
Not yet.
Not yet.
so the first thing you do is take the back off
Right.
to be
Yeah.
able to see the ground glass. Open up your shutter so that light comes in,
Yeah.
and you'd focus the image on the ground glass.
Now,
It's
is
going to be
there-
upside down and backwards.
Yeah, sure, that's normal.
Now, many of them would have a knob that you would turn on the side for the focus. but it's not
Yeah,
right.
is that,
That seems to be a.
Oh, that one?
this is
Oh, yeah,
it.
sure,
Yeah.
sure, it is. It's moving. That's it.
This moves the
Let me-
lens stays,
let me see what
the
you're
lens
doing
stays where it is, and there's a knob at the bottom here.
yeah, and
this
that's to
moves the-
move the ground glass to,
That moves the body of the camera.
The whole mechanism inside moves.
Right, it
And
moves
it
it
takes-
further away
it's a-
from the lens. That's why you have a bellows,
yeah.
so that there's
Yeah,
that
these-
flexibility.
That's why I thought this was just a carrying case,
Oh,
because you
right.
don't see the bellows.
Right,
And
and,
this,
and so this would allow you to focus your image on the ground glass. When you have the image all focused, you'd put your holder in here, you'd close your shutter so that no light was coming in. You'd pull a dark slide out, open the shutter for the appropriate amount of time, close it, put the dark slide back in, and take out your holder. Now you have an exposed plate in the holder. And the
But once
holder,
again-
because it has a dark slide, is light proof, and so you can carry it.
Okay, but once again, I'm very slow,
That's
Larry,
okay.
as you can tell.
It's all
The,
different.
the holder, is that, what does the holder look like?
Look, first of all,
Is it similar to this?
In
Just
some
a
ways,
different size?
Except it doesn't have this kind of configuration, but it's.
But it's a
I mean,
wooden, it's a
usually
wooden
yeah.
thing,
But it's
okay.
usually the dark slides slide up from the
easiest
edge.
thing would be to bring a couple of holders to you, and I'll donate them to you, and you'll see them.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Because that's why I thought this might be, but it wouldn't fit, I think.
If you take the screw out of
Yeah, it's gonna
the tripod, it'll be easier to hold the thing.
Yeah.
You can actually, this is not something that would have necessarily been left on the camera.
It might have
Tilt it
been
up just a
stuck
little
to
bit.
the tripod or something.
Well, this goes with the tripod. The legs have a certain springiness to them. When you put a piece of metal, the legs are here and a piece of metal this way, and the wood has a certain springiness. And you'd compress it so that it fit in here, and then it would spring open
Okay.
and pivot on these brass
clips it, yeah,
pieces.
clips it in.
And so you could attach it. Now, if you're carrying this separately, it might be a pain, so if you knew you were going to use it, you might leave it on the camera. But you couldn't hold it
Generally, you don't
upright
try to take any
if
more
you had
of
this
No.
on.
This is all
Right.
Yeah.
a unit, if you will.
That's why I
And
took it out.
these,
Normally, you don't even
you
take
see
this
these
off.
two little
So you
holes
wanna be-
on the front, other than the lens opening?
Dick, what were the two
Two little
holes
holes
on the front?
on the
Would they be
front.
for viewers?
Yes.
There are reflex viewers similar to,
Yes.
you had one sitting on the table here.
This back.
You had a little prismatic,
So how would she see through these viewers? I don't quite get that.
well, when you're composing,
Yeah.
just if you were holding it in your hand, you'd just look through those, and there's a hole on the top, and you're looking in through the square hole.
Yeah.
And you see,
There's a mirror or prism slanted,
There's a
so you
prism-
look down and then you
This
see
is-
what's
yeah,
out in
this
front.
is-
And you would see,
Just put that down on anything, you can see
Right.
the right,
okay,
it's a
so
right
this
angle-
is
it's a right
a
angle finder.
mirror
right,
to allow that to happen, but
Correct.
why are there two holes?
well, because you. if-
Horizontal, vertical.
Right, if
And
you
does
have.
this have to be shifted to,
No, because you have two of them.
So you-
So if you hold the camera so that you're getting a vertical or portrait
okay,
format,
Yeah.
then you'd be holding it one way. And
Yeah,
if you
but it
want
would
to turn it
still-
the other way,
and does this move, or is
No.
this?
you don't need to, there are
Doesn't
two
need
of
to.
them.
You're moving
There
the
are
camera.
two of these, okay. Now
See,
you-
that's why you have two holes.
You
I'm
finally
wondering
discovered
if
what
this wasn't used as
lacking.
for a focusing, a right angle focusing viewer.
I don't know, are there two still in the camera?
To what? Oh, no, I
Of
mean
those.
from the backside though.
I don't know.
It could be, maybe, because your film holder would look something about this size for the side.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. This looks so big to ever have been a film
It
holder.
would be this size because it replaces this.
Okay,
And the slide would pull out this way, the dark slide would pull out.
If this is separate, it's unusual.
Right, it appears to have been attached to something
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
has come out. It may have fallen out of a camera, it may be from a separate camera.
Yeah.
But you see the
Yeah.
little ground glass at the top?
Yeah, it's all foggy, can't.
oh, is that what he's,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
But the point, okay, now. if you
Yeah,
turn
yes,
it
this
one
one,
more-
this one is okay this way.
Okay, now
and
turn-
this one's missing.
Yeah, so you have the view screen on both sides. And again, that gives you the vertical or the horizontal.
Okay, so here's one way you're looking down and it's reflecting, it's going
Out
through
of one of
here,
those
okay?
little
And the
holes.
other,
Yeah,
there's a second one you said?
Except the ground glass is missing on that one.
Well,
Okay,
And you look through
Is the
here,
whole thing
and then you
missing?
get, it goes through the
Such a
other
big-
little
Just the
hole.
ground glass.
okay.
Whoop, sorry.
Sky is falling.
And there are generally places for the tripod on two sides. So
Yeah,
that you
there's-
could set it up on a tripod for
Okay,
a vertical.
vertical or
for
horizontal.
portrait or landscape.
Landscape, okay.
It's like one on this side and then one on
And
the.
you,
There's one on the top, oh, there's one there, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
and you mentioned that it was highly, highly likely that she did her own chemistry,
Yes,
because you wouldn't want to mail these glass things one way or another.
very few people to mail them to.
Well,
Most
it
people did their
wasn't
own.
just that, it was the fact that that's the way people got into photography. Almost everybody did their own work.
Now, that's, before you go too Now, these detective cameras, did they really make things much easier, or the glass plates? In other words, as amateurs, getting amateurs into this, and she definitely wasn't making a profession out of this, was it easier using one of these cameras or using dry?
You need a big studio 4x5 or something like that. Well, it was smaller, but also the detective could appeal to people because you could be unobtrusive.
Exactly.
You could
That's why the
be
name.
holding it this way, and it was actually taking an image from the
But
other
you
side.
wouldn't have to have you'd have to have it on a tripod, wouldn't you?
Not
No,
necessarily,
no.
not in bright
Film
light.
was
Fast enough to handhold?
Yeah. Well,
In
not
bright
only-
light.
Not only
in bright
that,
light.
okay, here's another thing too. In terms of keeping things steady, and as you get older, you realize that it's more and more difficult to take a.
Fortunately,
time
we're not
exposure,
getting
let's
older,
say, In photography. Now, because we develop vibrations in our bodies that we're not really conscious of. However, I remember once in college, in school, that I suddenly was struck on an evening, the fog came in, and they had these pseudo gas lamps. They were really electric, but they were designed. And I went and got a camera, and I came and I leaned against a doorway. In other words, just leaned myself against it and took a picture of 2 or 3 seconds, sharp as a tack. All you needed was to stabilize yourself.
You've
So
created
if you're
a
walking
tripod.
down the sidewalk with this thing under your arm, if you just lean against a telephone pole and hold it yourself and press the button, you could put.
But these shots
Remember the-
inside,
Sharp.
though.
The mass
That's
of the,
different, that's
the
different.
mass of the camera also mitigates any movement.
Yeah.
You know, you're just moving this little thing inside the camera. The camera is pretty much a stable thing.
It's braced up against you rather than 35 millimeter where it's out in space.
Yeah, it's just this little thing that you're holding in front of your
Now,
face.
that's an amazing thing. Again, a lot of these pictures are on the computer, and I don't have
Yeah,
them all
I
with
think
me.
you're right, though, the interiors are probably tripod.
Would be a tripod. Okay.